Today is the spring equinox. We celebrate the movement of the ash tree into hawthorn tree. And we'll get to that in a little bit, but I did pull a card for us today, and it actually was the hawthorn tree. So I'll show you that in a bit. I have my Celtic tree oracle deck, and it is by Charlene Hidalgo. She is, yeah, it's a really good deck with cool illustrations, and it runs through the the Ogham, the tree oracle, the Celtic tree oracle, the tree alphabet, really. So let's get into that in a bit. But the spring equinox is a time for us to plant new seeds. Yes, it's also a great time to let go. It's also a great time to move forward. If you haven't noticed, if you're here in Toronto, you have probably been experiencing a bit more energy because there is more light in the day. And there's also springtime coming. So the temperatures are fluctuating, yes, but slowly getting warmer. And that leads us into the next Celtic wheel time of the year, which is Bealtaine, Beltane. That happens around May 1st, May Day, as they call it, or Maypole. And then after that, of course, the next solstice, which is the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. So the spring equinox really is the midpoint between the two solstices, between the winter solstice and the summer solstice. This is a celebration historically for celebrating that the light is coming back. Just let that sink for a second. The light is coming back. This world is really crazy right now. I don't say that word lightly, but the world is chaotic. The world is not grounded right now. And I've been told by my guides that we as a community must stay grounded, especially those who are under attack, especially the queer community, especially gender diverse folks, especially trans folks. So I hope from this equinox, this retreat, that you will rediscover the seeds of your own. May you plant those. You've already been cultivating them. You've been saving them all winter. So why not do the next step? Put them in the earth. Marry the seed, that energy with the Mother Earth. And that is actually what the hawthorn tree teaches us. It's a time of sacred union, a very, very potent time, a divinatory time. Your magic might be coming through right now. So last month in March, we talked about the ash tree. We talked about boundaries. Ash really teaches us to say no and center. The hawthorn tree, and let me show you. This is, this is the Celtic Oracle deck I'm using by Charlene Hidalgo. It's great. I love it. And the hawthorn is this beautiful card right here. You see the green leaves, you see it flowering. So we do have the hawthorn tree, the spring blossoms, the magnolia, all of those coming into bloom this time of year. And the true spring equinox, March 21st, was the time that the Celtic wheel of the year moved into hawthorn time. The hawthorn represents the white stag and the fairies, the elementals. And the spring equinox in general represents the maiden, the time when the maiden energy is fresh and abundant. And what I mean by that is we are birthing something. So, in the time of our lives, when we are birthing, when we are that maidenhead of the goddess, if you will, if that language appeals to you, she unites now with Cernunnos, the horn god, or that stag in the forest. There is a marriage. And this is the time really for cleansing, for purification, for sabbatical. If you need to go a little bit more inward, please do so, okay? This is the time. You must protect your sacred. So if you don't have an altar already, get one, start working on one, start working with some elements. If you have some tree leaves, I have this little wooden chime here, candles, earth energy. I also have water here, and I'm going to be pouring it into a little crystal cup that I have. So let me just read you a little bit more about the hawthorn. This is the 6th lunation of the year. The huata, the hawthorn, initiates during this portal when we celebrate the spring equinox, which heralds in the planting season. The maiden returns to her mother now, and a new cycle of life begins. This period is for cleansing and for purification. We are called to protect our inner realm and ready ourselves for Bealtaine, or Beltane, May 1st in the Northern Hemisphere, November 1st in the Southern. We prepare our gardens for the seeds we want to plant. We clear the fields. The hawthorn teaches us to purify ourselves as we prepare for the sacred marriage, calling for the union of the masculine and the feminine, the union of intellect and mind with feeling and intuition. This marriage establishes true power and wholeness within you. When you get hawthorn in a reading, hawthorn is asking us to spend time, some sacred time, in preparation for a meaningful birth experience. What are you birthing right now? Clean up your act. That means, yes, letting go of what no longer serves you. Treat your body, your mind, your soul with sacred respect. This is a time for spring cleaning. And that doesn't only apply to your home. It applies to your work environment and your garden, and also your inner garden, that inner environment. Take time to put everything in order. Clean out your closet, clean the house, clean up the files on your computer, delete what you don't need anymore. Let go of that which no longer has meaning for you or you no longer use. I'm sure we can all think of a few things that we're holding on to that we no longer need. This is a time when you will be ready to let go of behavioral ruts or habits. This is a time when you clean out old and unnecessary thought patterns, unhelpful emotional patterns, and let them go. And we're going to do a gratitude practice after to get us into the mindset of being able to come from thanks when we're letting go. Doesn't have to be a big goodbye. It could just be thank you for being here with me this couple months or these couple years. And now I'm ready to let you go. Hawthorne asks us to protect your inner truth from something outside of you. You may want to pay attention to your relationships with yourself, with nature, with the divine. That is going to be essential for your self-sovereignty, for your groundedness, for your rootedness. Hawthorne roots us. And we can use Hawthorne. She offers herself to us to encircle and protect your sacred space. This is the time to clean up your altar, spend some time recreating the altar. So if you already have one, maybe give it a bit of a dusting. If you don't, now is a great time to start. Clean a space, make a sacred space for you. This is a time out for your own purification. This can have to do with fasting, with prayer, with meditation, and abstinence from overindulgence. Hawthorne also speaks of reconnecting to the magic and the mystery of nature. If you don't believe in fairies, now's a good time to start. Connect to the unseen realms of the elementals. Close your eyes and go within and recall what it feels like to be a child in childlike wonder. See the world through innocent eyes with a joyful heart. Magic is real. Magic is only waiting for your invitation. So I want you to ask yourselves right now, perhaps you are holding on to things for too long. Maybe that's material goods. Maybe that's something else. Maybe that's thought patterns, right? This is now the time to let go. This is now the time to say thank you for those and move forward without them. You don't need them anymore. You really don't need them anymore. I'm sure we can all think of these things that we've been holding on, right? And so let the hawthorn just assist you with that today. If it feels impossible, ask a friend to help. You might be overly attached to the past. I tell you, it's okay to move on right now. Yes, that mindset has helped you in the past. Yes, those behaviors and those actions have helped you survive in the past. And in a moment of chaos, when the ground gets shaky, we tend to go back to what we know has worked in the past. I'm here to say that you can take that step and you will not lose anything The ground will not become shaky again for you. You can step forward and you will not lose your community. You will not lose your life. You will not lose passion. You will not lose your family, friends, chosen family. You can let whatever is holding you back go. So ask yourself, have you been too busy to create time for your own introspection? You don't have to answer it to me, just answer it to yourself. Yes or no? Are you hanging out too much in either the masculine energy or the feminine energy of dependence? Are you too much in your mind, or are you too much relying on other people to guide you? If so, Hawthorne can assist you with these energies, with the balancing of these energies. Her domain is that sacred marriage within, the meeting of your mind and your heart, the meeting of your mind and your intuition. Mm. If you have shut yourself off from the mystery of the unseen realms, the unseen fairies, the unseen magic in your life, in this world, on this planet, in this realm, you may have been missing out on the regeneration aspect of this magic. And that doesn't always mean you've been looking too far behind you. It could mean you're trying to push something ahead too quickly without letting it grow, without giving it time. And so right now, again, we are in the spring equinox. That means we are just letting the seeds fall to the ground. We're putting our mind in our hearts. And we are finally marrying the two together. This is the message from Hawthorne, and I'm going to read directly from this Celtic tree oracle. I am the hawthorn. I am referred to as the fairy tree. Do you remember what you believed? Do you remember when you believed in magic and the world of fairies, unicorns? Can you remember how it felt? Can you remember the feeling of innocence, the feeling of childlike awe and wonder? It is time to renew your belief in the unseen realm of nature, as this realm is as real as the high whistle that your dog can hear, but you cannot. Our eyes and our ears are amazing indeed, but they are not so highly attuned to the eyes and the ears within. Within there, through your psychic abilities, you will discover dimensions of great love, care, and great unity. Close your eyes and remember. See the fairies dancing, the brook bubbling. Sing amidst the flowers and the trees. Enjoy the little animals that live at the foot of the tree trunk. Return to your natural world of magic. Return to the slow and steady beat of the heartbeat of Gaia, Mother Earth. Return to the paradise. Return to the secret majesty that lives within and without you, around you. So this is the message of Hawthorne. This is a sacred time. And if you needed the permission, if you needed the permission to let go, this is it. Now is your time. Now is your time to let go of the seeds that you've been holding on for so long and transform them into something else. All that baggage you've been carrying, everything. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. It's a very, very potent time. It's a very, very potent time right now. And you have all the magic that you need. You have all the support you need behind you, in front of you, inside of you, outside of you. We just have to say yes now. And when you say yes, everyone else sees that yes. Everyone else feels that energy from that yes. Everyone will take notice. And you, given permission by the hawthorn tree, you will give permission for others to do the same. I really believe that. I really, truly do believe that. And I am caught on this marriage piece, uniting the mind with the heart. And I just keep looking around. I'm obviously my computer here is close to my altar, so I keep looking at all my crystals, looking at so many different crystals. Let's see this jade. Looking at this. Here, I'll show you this cute little acorn that I picked up in the fall, and it's still here. And you know what? Maybe I don't need these things. I'm gonna regenerate this altar, make it a bit more living, because that's what this is all about. And those are gonna drop as seeds into the earth, and I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move through something. We're gonna move through it. The only way out is through. You are protected. You are in your sacred time. You have the tools you need. You have the gratitude, and you have the wisdom that you've been hanging on to. Let's move that wisdom. So if you have your journals, I'm going to ask you to take out your journals and just write down in the past month. This is a gratitude practice. Because, yeah, we can talk about this all we want, but we need to actually shift into the feeling. Again, shifting from the mind into the heart, shifting out of intellect into embodiment. This is the shift we need. So, write this prompt down in your journal, and I'll give you a couple minutes to assess and think about it and ponder it and write about it. Write down 5 people you're grateful for, 5 people you're grateful for. Okay. Pick one of them and go into a little bit more depth. You don't have to fully write them a letter, but just write down why you're grateful for that person. Feel the gratefulness, the gratitude within you. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. I'm going to put on some music and we will check back in after, okay? 5 people you're grateful for. Pick one of them and go into detail. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all so much for that share, that deep, beautiful share. For those of you watching the replay, I didn't unpause during the shares just to share the confidentiality of folks, but ooh, we've got some precious and beautiful, beautiful gratitudes and the energy coming through. I really, really can feel it coming through right now. Oh, this is amazing. Really, really, really potent, potent energy, some good magic coming through. So thank you. Thank you again. Um, and for those of you watching this replay, I actually don't mind sharing my own. So um, why don't I do just that? It might help you to hear it for anyone who maybe couldn't access that part of the gratitude today. And I do find that hearing stories from others, written in the first person, actually helps us to kind of feel that in a different way. So I'll read mine, no worries. Okay, here I have. Dear Frankie, great job, dude. Thank you for stepping up to the plate these past couple months. You wanted to be more fit, and you are. You ran, you prepared for that 10K race. But what's more is that you found a part of you that you had lost. You ran right toward it. And I really appreciate re-meeting that human. I remembered the deep divinity, the deep wisdom that lives inside of me. Funnily enough, running on a weekly basis allowed me to run toward my goals with the parts of me that I found. I found her again. I found him again, my heart and my mind. And I found self-love again. And I laid other parts of me to rest. Thank you for letting go of those things. Thank you for holding on to them too for so long, for the time that you did. And you even carried some of that stuff for others who are important in your life because you could. You didn't have to, but you could, and you did. So give yourself a pat on the back. You have come so far. There is more of me to meet. So I thank me for my feet, and I'll say it on repeat. for the rest of my life. Thank you, Frankie. There is a deep and potent wisdom when we return to ourselves in this way. And that's what I love about the Celtic wheel of the year because time is always moving. And so time is a construct, right? But when we think of it this way, when we're aligned with the planets and how they're moving and how the earth is moving, we always know that another thing is coming, which might sound looming or dooming, impending doom, depending on what you're thinking about. But the clouds are always washing us, right? The wind is always moving through us. And that itself is a very, very potent lesson to learn. The only constant is change. So thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for listening to my own. Now we're going to move into something a little bit different, but I wanted to mention because I didn't do this retreat on the actual spring equinox, which we could have because it was last weekend. And I just felt that it wasn't the time. It wasn't quite the time. And so I wanted to know why that was. And I'm not a, I'm not an astrologer by any means, that's for sure. Um, but I did find out that today, March 29th, hence spring equinox, but a week late, is actually the solar eclipse in Aries. So there's a new moon coming up in a few days, and the new moon is in Aries. And so this solar eclipse amplifies the power of that new moon. It and what that does for us, funnily enough, is it kind of pulls back the veil a little bit more. And I already know that a lot of you have been feeling that the veil is quite thin and that you are seeing through the veil, seeing the truth in a lot of ways as the world events, as political events turn. And so a solar eclipse in a new moon, especially in this Aries new moon, it's revealing a lot of unexpected pathways for us. In essence, what that means is you'll probably see some new opportunities fly by you. New jobs, new loves, new homes, moving, perhaps anything that invites renewal, anything that invites change. And this particular eclipse is especially potent because it is aligning with both the sun and the moon in Aries. Just days after this equinox. So a very, very, very powerful window for newbie. Excuse me. A very powerful window for new beginnings and change. So hang in there, enjoy the ride. This is going to get bumpy. And that's why I wanted us to be in the energy of gratitude, because when we show up in the energy of gratitude, we invite abundance into our world. We invite that spring energy and the newness and the blossoming into our world. We don't think about the past. We don't think about what's not working. We think about the newness. And that is what is going to get us to the next level here. Okay. There's a lot of planetary shifting. There's a lot of political shifting. There's a lot of movement this year and these past couple years. And this is a very, very potent time. I heard actually that this month, March 2025, is the actual end of the Mayan calendar. So people did math wrong. And um, the real kind of end of the calendar is this month. Another astrologer that I heard of, um, she was talking about the energy of this time, and she was saying that in humanity's transformation and learning here on Earth, we are all put here for a reason right now, right? I do believe that. This is the equivalent of when humanity, like humans, discovered fire, the element of fire. Obviously, that changed the game, right? Lit the caves, it allowed us to stay up a bit longer. It then moved into our discoveries of a lot of other things, including light and, you know, being able to light up the world in the darkness. And so this is a really, 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 really big time in astrology, if you follow it, astronomy, if you follow it. There's been a lot of alignments happening. And I do believe that the systems are beginning to crumble in a way that we couldn't imagine, in a way that maybe a lot of us hoped. And again, probably something that we couldn't imagine or maybe don't want to imagine. So a lot of the things are starting to fall around us. The institutions that we know are crumbling, and that's all right because we have each other, we have community, and we have our practice of staying grounded. So again, if you don't already have a practice of one, gratitude, of two, being with your altar, whatever that means, it might be that you just say hello to it in the morning. It could be that you recreate it and put some more elemental magic in there, like fire, earth, stones, and nuts and seeds and leaves from trees that you've picked up on a walk. Um, it could be that we give back to the earth on your walks, giving gratitude, talking to the trees, giving poetry to the river, anything at all that helps us stay grounded. And in the meantime, if you have any of those, share it with one other person. Share it with another person you trust. You never know what they might need. You never know what might resonate with them. So now we will take a little break and we'll come back and we'll start to do a little bit more embodied practice with the element of water. Again, very potent at this time, water flowing, energizing, being able to transform into different forms. So we'll come back for that and I'll meet you in about 15 minutes. Okay, perfect. See you all soon on the hour. Thanks.